Have you ever felt like the internet you use every day is a bit broken? Like you're just a product, your data is being sold, and a few giant companies control everything? What if I told you there's a new version of the internet being built right now, one that promises to give the power back to you, the user? It's called Web3, and while it might sound complicated, the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I promise you'll understand what Web3 is, why it matters, and how it could completely change our digital lives. Let's start with a quick trip back in time. Remember Web 1? This was the internet of the 90s. Think of it as the read-only internet. You could go to a website, read some text, look at some pictures, but you couldn't really interact with it. It was like a giant digital library. Most of us were just consumers of information. Then came Web 2, the internet we know and love today. This is the read-write internet. Suddenly, we could create our own content. We started blogs, uploaded videos to YouTube, and shared our lives on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Web 2 connected the world and gave a voice to billions of people. But it came with a catch. While we were creating all this content, we weren't really in control of it. The platforms we used were. These companies built massive, centralized databases to store our information, our photos, our friendships. They own the servers, they make the rules, and they monetize our data. We became the product. This centralization is the core problem Web3 aims to solve. So what exactly is Web3? You can think of it as the read-write-own internet. The key difference is decentralization. Instead of data being stored on servers owned by a single company, in Web3, information is distributed across a vast network of computers all over the world. This is made possible by a technology you've probably heard of, blockchain. Now, don't let the word blockchain scare you. At its heart, a blockchain is just a shared, unchangeable digital ledger. Imagine a notebook that's passed around a huge group of people. Every time someone adds a new entry, everyone in the group gets a copy of that update. To change an old entry, you'd have to convince more than half the group to change their copy, which is practically impossible. This makes the information on a blockchain incredibly secure and transparent. It's a system built on trust, but without needing to trust any single person or company. This is the foundation of Web3. Instead of logging into a website with a Google or Facebook account, you'd use a crypto wallet. This wallet is your digital identity. It's unique to you, controlled by you, and lets you interact with different apps and services without handing over your personal data. You own your identity, you own your data, and you own your digital assets. What kind of digital assets are we talking about? This is where things get really interesting. Think about things like NFTs or non-fungible tokens. Right now, they're mostly associated with digital art, but the technology is much bigger than that. An NFT is basically a unique, verifiable certificate of ownership for a digital item stored on the blockchain. In Web3, an NFT could represent your ownership of a piece of music, a special item in a video game, a concert ticket, or even the deed to a house. And because you truly own it, you can sell it, trade it, or use it however you want, without needing permission from a central platform. Let's take gaming as an example. In Web 2 games, you might spend hundreds of dollars on skins or items, but you don't actually own them. The game company does. If they shut down the game, all your investment is gone. In a Web 3 game, those items would be NFTs that you own in your crypto wallet. You could take them with you to another game, sell them on an open marketplace, or even loan them to other players. The power shifts from the developer to the player. This idea of ownership extends to the platforms themselves. Many Web3 projects are being built as DAOs, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. Think of a DAO like a company with no CEO. Instead, it's run by its community members. Decisions are made through voting, and often, the more you contribute to the platform, the more voting power you have. It is a way to build services and applications that are governed by the people who actually use them, not by a boardroom of executives. So, to recap, Web1 was read-only. Web 2 is read-write but controlled by big tech. Web 3 is read-write-own, a decentralized internet built on blockchain where users are in control of their data, identity, and digital assets. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds very futuristic and maybe a little utopian. And you're right to be skeptical. Web3 is still in its very early days. It's not perfect. The technology can be slow and expensive to use. It can be confusing for beginners, and frankly, the user experience isn't always great. There are also valid concerns about security, scams, and the environmental impact of some blockchains, though newer technologies are becoming much more energy efficient. It's like the internet in the early 90s. It was clunky, slow, and most people didn't see the point. They said, why would I send an email when I can just mail a letter? But slowly, step by step, it got better, faster, and easier to use until it became an essential part of our lives. That's the stage Web3 is in right now. The pioneers and builders are laying the groundwork, experimenting with new ideas and figuring out what works. The transition from Web 2 to Web 3 won't happen overnight. It will likely be a gradual process, with Web 3 technologies slowly integrating into the apps and services we already use. You might not even notice it's happening at first, but the underlying principles of decentralization and user ownership could have a profound impact on everything from finance and art to social media and governance. It's a vision of a more equitable, transparent, and user-centric internet. An internet where creators are fairly compensated for their work, where users have real ownership over their digital lives, and where power is distributed instead of concentrated. It's a big, bold idea, and there's no guarantee it will succeed exactly as planned. But it's a future worth building, and now you understand the fundamental ideas behind it. What do you think? Is Web3 the future, or just a bunch of hype? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our future. See you in the next one.